Just watch.
All right, it is movie draft time. Lynn gets to go first. I will go third. So we're making ourselves a Frank sandwich.
Yay!
Is that weird?
Did
I make that
it's a
weird?
Frankfurter.
I also, so we're doing baseball movies because the baseball season starts tomorrow, and I do have picks from Spano as well. So we'll get to those when we're all done with this stuff. But Lan, go ahead and start things off here. What is your first baseball movie that you are drafting?
First one, and I think my favorite baseball movie, Major League.
Major League. Fan damn.
Wesley Snipes.
Oh my God, that is such a good movie. And I remember, because I was big into baseball as a kid, and I would see
no hit curveball.
I would see the previews for it, and I just wanted to watch it, but it was rated R.
Yeah,
and
it's rated
eventually,
R.
I eventually talked my dad into letting me watch the movie, and it is arguably one of my favorite.
You want to hear
baseball
something
movies.
really like funny and stupid at the same time?
Always.
Like, so we're old enough to where you would have to go into either like there might be a grocery store that had a movie section or a Blockbuster or something, and the VHS tapes, they'd have them with the cover art, which was that cover art that you have on the screen. That baseball, for some reason, scared the crap out of me as a kid, as if I thought it was a horror movie. That I would not look at the logo because I thought there was something demonic going on with that, and I didn't watch it till I was in middle school because that baseball.
Well, there was something demonic going on. It was Charlie Sheen on roids.
Well, that too.
Because he's admitted that, right? Like he was on the juice during the filming of Major League.
Man, that guy.
He had to get into the role of a Major League Baseball manager.
He went to Mark McGuire and got the juice, man.
Up your butt, Joe Boo. All right, Frank, what is your first baseball movie?
We'll go with probably the one that everybody recognizes. And I'll tell you the truth, though, I don't really know if it's actually a baseball movie. I think it's a movie with baseball in it. But Field of Dreams is going to be my first one because I think it's more. I think it's
a baseball
more
movie.
No, that's 100%.
Well, no, but I mean, it's more. I mean, the movie's basically about him and his dad, and then it's encompassing baseball. But the real story is him coming to grips with the relationship with him and his dad. But in baseball was the thing that brought them together. So,
well, I think that's. But it's a fantastic movie, and I think that's one of the things that makes a lot of these baseball movies so good is that it's. If you really were to cut down the storyline, it's about something else.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball is the glue that holds the story together. All right, so I'm up. And I get to go back to back here. And I'm telling you right now. Shit. Oh. I think
I know exactly what two you're going to pick.
Well, I didn't pick one because I got a funny story if he does pick it.
All right, what's one that you think I'm going to pick, Lan?
A League of Their Own.
And that was the other one.
You fuckers. Yeah, those were the...
because we used to quote A League of Their Own when we'd play Halo till 3 in the morning all the time.
Hey, cowgirls, see the grass? Don't eat it.
Don't eat it. John Lovitz was so good in there.
I would tell you look like a little penis with a hat on.
So here we got The Sandlot, this is a different
That's a
poster.
classic. And I was surprised as a kid to find out that wasn't a Disney movie. That was a Fox movie.
Yeah, weird, right?
Well, now it's a Disney movie because they bought Fox, but at the time...
Such a good movie, though. You're killing me, Smalls. How can I have some more of something if I haven't had anything yet?
It was signed by some woman named Baby
Ruth? And the thing that always bothered me about that, when he takes and he signs the baseball, and so that's the fake
his
one.
Dad.
So his dad won't notice. Watch when he curls the H. It looks like he adds an E on there. So it's RUTHE, and I'm like, bullshit. That's bugged me for years when it comes to The Sandlot.
Babe Ruthy?
Babe Ruthy?
You hit a ball in my yard. Why didn't you just come to the front door and knock? I would have gotten it for you.
James Earl Jones. What was the name of the dog?
Darth Vader was the namer.
Hercules.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we also do have A League of Their Own, which arguably my favorite line not including John Lovitz, is when they're getting ready to go to the World Series. And they're trying to pile up in the bus, and the kid comes and asks Jimmy Dugan for... Alan knows exactly where I'm going. He comes to ask Jimmy Dugan for an autograph. He signs it, and then as he walks away, the kid goes... Hold on.
Avoid the clap, Jimmy Dugan.
Great.
And then he goes, advice. Hey, that's good advice! Scuba Steve's here. What's up, Scuba Steve? We're talking baseball.
I won't lie. That movie, though, was the first movie that actually made me like sad and depressed on some level, because it's the whole, you see him old and then it goes back to when they're younger, and now you have to, of course, you deal with the husbands dying in the war and stuff, but then you come back to when they're old and you're seeing all the individuals that died. And I just remember, I think like 12 or 13 watching that, at the end of that going, damn, this movie's kind of messing me up, man. I don't want to cry right now. Like, this movie's really messing with my emotions.
I honestly thought for the longest time that the older ladies that are at the beginning that kind of bookend that movie, I honestly thought that some of them were the actual baseball players.
I thought that was her real voice, and I didn't realize until I was like almost mid-20s that it was Gina Davis dubbing her voice.
I thought it was Gina Davis in makeup. I didn't realize that was a whole new actress.
That's what I thought when I first saw it, too.
I honestly thought that was Gina Davis in makeup at the end of that movie.
They did a good job with the older women matching them up with the youngers. But yeah, I didn't realize that. I always thought that was her voice, and then it wasn't until I was in my mid-20s like, Jesus, that's Gina Davis dubbed over. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I truly, this was only like maybe a couple of years ago when I found that out. Yeah, Scuba Steve says, there's no crying in baseball. Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying in baseball.
I like that one scene where it's like, all right, you got a runner on first and third. Let's see if Jimmy gives him the sign to swing away, and it cuts him. He's like scratching his butt.
No, I like when the guy that ends up running the league he's like, I especially liked it when you scratched yourself for an inning there. And he goes, well, anything worth doing right. All right.
He hacks that tobacco on his foot. He's like, Jesus, Jimmy, if you paid you more, would you be a little bit more disgusting? I could use the money.
See, the way the work is, the train moves, not the station. That's a scene that breaks my heart every fucking time. Is the scene with her dad. Yeah. First of all, in the gym, when he's like, don't take it out on her. Her mom's not around. I raised her as I only knew how, which was to raise her as a boy. Oh. Yeah. And then real quick, too, there's that one scene where they're kind of going through like the lady training and they're learning cross their legs. A lady never reveals. And Lori Petty starts laughing her ass off. That was real.
Yeah.
That wasn't in the script. Like, she broke down laughing because of that line.
Yep.
See, look, we just blew Scuba Steve's mind. He says that wasn't Gina Davis. It's not. It's not Gina Davis. It was another actress.
The lady who played that, the older version, she was like European or something, right?
I think so. Somebody in the chat, if you can, look that up. Find out who played the older version of Dottie Hinson in A League of Their Own. All right, Frank, what is your second baseball movie in your draft?
I'm going to go with another kids flick. I'm going with Rookie of the Year solely on the reason because we got the best kind of line out of that, and it's when he's getting his cast off and the doctor's telling him to go forward with his arm, and he smacks the living crap out of the doctor, and the doctor goes, funky butt loving.
Funky butt loving.
And the kid next to him goes, did he just say funky butt loving? For a 13-year-old kid, that was great. I went to school after seeing that, just yelling funky butt loving everywhere because it was the greatest thing I ever heard in my life.
I remember when I had shoulder surgery when I was in high school, and it was essentially like kind of tightening everything up, which they make it sound like that's what this kid has done. And there were so many people in high school that thought that I was going to be able to throw like that kid because I was having this surgery.
Not to mention he had John Candy in it too as the announcer.
Oh, that's right. I completely forgot about that. All right, Lan, what is your second and third picks? You get to go back to back here, buddy.
So second, I'm gonna go The Natural.
Yeah, good choice, Robert Redford. I still don't exactly know what the movie's about because I don't think I've ever been sober watching the whole thing all the way through.
And then third, I'm gonna go Mr. Baseball.
Yeah. Oh, Tom Selleck. Hell yeah.
Love that movie.
Mr. Baseball. By the way, in case you guys are wondering, Frank showed me a Funko Pop of Mr. Sparkle with Homer Simpson before we were streaming, and it put me in the goddamn best mood. All right, let me see here. So we have The Natural. This is Land's second overall pick. Again, it's like, I know the movie, but I really don't think I know the full plot line. I know that he bleeds.
I just like the baseball stuff in it. That's why I watched it.
It's like he was a promising up and comer. He gets caught up with a woman who ends up shooting him, and he basically disappears from this promising. Yeah. Because she was like crazy. Like at the beginning of the movie, like the woman's crazy, shoots him, and he disappears, and then he comes back. I think it's like 15 years later, and nobody recognizes him, and he's a natural. He's smacking the ball, and Robert Duvall is a reporter in New York and catches on to who he is, and and it's this whole story basically about redemption.
Okay.
Where
Now it's all coming back to me.
Yeah,
now I'm picking up on it.
It's a good movie. It's a long movie. It's a good movie.
And here's I didn't even think I ever realized what the tagline was here. He's the biggest thing to hit Japan since Godzilla.
The first time I watched this movie was in my Japanese class in high school.
There you go.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a great movie. I think this one is super underrated because if you like Google baseball movies or best baseball movies, this one's buried like way down the list because there's a lot of really good baseball movies, but this one's really buried down there. And it is hold on. Apparently my wife forgets that I stream on Wednesdays.
She could open the door and say hey again.
She's not home. All right, so there's your Tom Selleck movie. Again, go check that one out. All right, Frank, what's your third and final pick?
So I'm gonna let you two decide on this because I got a toss up as far as which one.
Send it to the chat. We'll send it to the chat.
Well, because I think this third one you might actually pick. So one of them is Bad News Bears. Are you gonna pick that one?
I was not. It's in my.
Okay.
It's definitely my honorable mentions. I have two that I'm kind of battling.
I had
with
a toss up between the original Bad News Bears and this movie. It was actually on HBO. It wasn't in theaters. It was directed by Billy Crystal. And it was called 61. And it followed the home run
with Roger Maris.
race between Roger Maris and it was more you found out like what happened behind the scenes with Mickey Mantle and his alcoholism and Roger Maris, like stress and anxiety getting. That was such a great movie, but it's like I'm tossed up between both because both of them were good movies. So it's like I don't know. I lean towards either one, but
if I were to guide you in one direction, I would go Bad News Bears.
Right,
but that's
but then I really loved 61 just because of how they showed like just the mental aspect of both those guys going through what they went through.
I feel it was missing 8.
It was what?
I feel it was missing 8. If they added 8 more to it, it would have been perfect.
Yeah, I mean. And also,
which one do you have the poster for? You got for Bad News? We'll go Bad News.
Because I looked, trust me, I tried to get the one for 61, but they're all like really low res versions of the posters. So.
Right. Well, yeah, because it was HBO. I mean, it was just,
So,
but we'll go Bad News.
I have a couple that I'm kind of toying around with, but here we're going to get to some honorable mentions. Do you guys have any honorable mentions?
I mean, yeah,
Major League 2.
You got Mr. 3000.
Ooh, wait, hold on. Slow down here. Major League 2. I think I got the poster for that. We got that one right there. Which it had Taka. Shit, I can't remember his name. This guy here, the one who goes, "You have no marbles." No marbles.
Bull Durham, of course.
Okay, you got to remember, I still have to pick.
But you said
Brewster's Millions.
We should let you pick first, then we'll do our mentions.
Well, I want to go through the honorable mentions first. You guys let me know yay or nay if you guys were honorable mentions on this one. I think I'm just going to go in alphabetical order here. So there was 42, which is obviously the story of Jackie Robinson with the Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman,
and Harrison Ford.
We also have Angels in the Outfield.
Yeah, that's a good one, but yeah.
Only thing I really remember from that movie is when he leans the foul pole so that it's a fair ball.
Have you ever checked the cast on that? You had Adrian,
Danny Glover, Tony Danza, and Christopher Lloyd.
No, but you also had Matthew McConaughey. You had Adrian Brody in there. You had a few others that it was like their first like movie job, and they just had small roles in it.
There's also the Bad News Bears remake.
Yeah, that one was wild, man.
This one, not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Billy Bob Thornton, I thought, did a really good job of portraying Walter Matthau's character. Also, there's all the other Bad News Bears.
Man.
The ones that I remember watching when I was a kid, the one I really remember.
Go to Japan?
No. It was the one where they go to Texas.
Oh.
Remember? Let them play! Let them play! You guys don't remember that?
The only thing that bothered me about that newer one with Billy Bob, I think he had done Bad Santa before that. And so when I watched it, it just almost looked like an extension of his Bad Santa character for like the first half of that movie.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of was. He's just kind of an alcoholic douchebag. But he's just doing a more extreme version of what Walter Matthau's character was. I mean, Walter Matthau's character's drinking beer during practice.
Yeah.
Vero says hardball. Vero says hardball with Keanu Reeves. That has not been brought up yet. Next one here is more honorable mentions. There's Bang the Drums Slowly. Older movie. Robert De Niro.
Yep.
Here is, so essentially, so Spano brought his three. His picks were Major League. He also brought up Mr. 3000. So if you don't know this one with Bernie Mac, he was a former ball player who they went back in his stats and they put him at like, it was like 2,998 or something like that.
Yeah, like something didn't count.
So he comes back and to get his 3,000th hit. And then Spano's third movie, which I guess could kind of count. It's a softball movie, Beer League, with Artie Lang and Ralph Macchio.
I remember that, but I never saw it.
And then the Beard just brought this one up in the chat. Benchwarmers.
Have you guys ever seen that For Love of Game with Kevin Costner?
You mean this one right here?
Where
he plays
that's
Detroit
actually that's a really good movie. It's slowly paced, but it's really good.
Let me skip by some of these other ones here. Don't forget we got Moneyball. That's a baseball movie.
That's a good one too. Yeah.
There's also
Would basketball count?
No. The Scout with Brendan Fraser and Albert Brooks.
I like that one. I like that one.
There's The Rookie with Dennis Quaid.
Yep.
That's a Disney movie, isn't it? Yeah, Disney movie.
Yeah.
There's The Pride of the Yankees, which actually had Babe Ruth in it.
Yeah, and Gehrig, I think. Wasn't he in it too, or no?
I don't think Gehrig was in it.
No, wait, no. It was about Gehrig, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was about Lugard.
Don't forget, you got the Bingo Long Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings. Starring, I believe, Billy D. Williams and who else was in this? Oh, Richard Pryor, James Earl Jones. Let's see.
I actually saw that, but don't quite remember everything about it.
The Babe with John Goodman playing Babe Ruth.
That's a good one. You got Little Big League.
I got Little Big League right here, and I remember this one specifically. I loved it because it was the Minnesota Twins, and I'm a Minnesota Twins fan, and so that was one of those. That was one of those movies that hit home for me. I was gonna sell Spano down the river here to say that this was his favorite movie, Fever Pitch. Because he's a diehard Yankee fan.
It actually wasn't that bad of a movie, I'll be honest.
I didn't think it was terrible. I enjoy watching it, but especially so. I'm assuming so. Frank, you've seen it. Have you seen it, Lan?
Nope.
So the whole premise is obviously he's a diehard Boston Red Sox fan, and he has season tickets, and it's right behind the dugout. And they timed this thing perfectly because it originally the ending was slightly different.
Yeah,
but it led into they changed the ending because it was the year that the Red Sox came back from down 3-0 to the Yankees and ended up winning the World Series.
You know what is so funny about that is I remember when the Red Sox won that, I remember a camera that zoomed out and I saw Fallon and Drew Barrymore on the field hugging or whatever, and I was like, what the hell are they doing? What's going on? Nobody knew about the movie at the time, and you're like, what the hell are they? And then when the movie came out, I was like, oh, that's because they cut to letting him go on the field and hey, look, booty, and
You guys don't know what this is up there for, do you? Scuba Steve
Summer Catch.
Yep, Scuba Steve just put this in the chat. Summer Catch.
You know the only reason I remember that movie? Because Freddie Prinze Jr. I think either went to Florida State or one of the guys were from Florida State and went to that summer league, and that's the only reason why I remember that movie.
Jessica Biel. Absolute friggin' smoke show, by the way.
Her child's name is Batmo.
I know.
If
She
for
should have
some
done that. That would
reason
have been great.
Justin Timberlake cheats on that left and right.
All right. So here we have. This is one that's really highly underrated, I think, and it's fantastic. So it's Tommy Lee Jones as Ty Cobb.
Yeah, dude, that's a wild movie.
And Robert Wool is a reporter who's trying to write a book on him, and it's just this is a great movie. It's a fantastic movie. It's still not my pick. It's an honorable mention. It's right there. Based on, obviously, Ty Cobb. This other honorable mention, 8 Men Out.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, such a good movie. You got Charlie Sheen, Christopher
Cusack.
Lloyd, John Cusack. So this is all about the betting scandal that took down the White Sox, and they became the Black Sox, and they were banned. And it led to the whole Shoeless Joe Jackson story, because Shoeless Joe Jackson was one of the guys that got banned from baseball. However,
And
what's that?
I was gonna say, and if he didn't get banned, would probably be one of the
Greatest baseball players
the
of all
best
time.
baseball players of all time.
Easily. All right, and then the final one, which is my actual final pick. Bull Durham, ladies and gentlemen.
Bull Durham.
Durham.
Look,
I was
want
toying.
you to
I was.
throw at the mascot.
I would. Oh, it's such a good goddamn movie. When they're sitting there and they're on the mound, and they don't know what to get the one couple that's getting married, and then they're dealing. You got to get a live chicken for the one guy to get the curse off of his glove. He's like, we're dealing with a lot of shit here.